Hello and welcome to day 178 of Dungeon 23, the series where we make a room of a mega dungeon every day for a year. Today we're doing another thing that was inspired by some suggestions I got from my normal D&D group. As was yesterday's, the coffee goblin was a suggestion, but I wasn't really paying attention and I was really tired, so the actual suggestion was kind of left behind. The idea was that coffee machine was broken and it needed to be repaired by the inventor goblin, but I completely missed that because, again, I was super tired. But it's already done. We're just going to move past it. And now we have a hot dog goblin as opposed to a coffee goblin. So what this guy does is he obviously sells hot dogs for 1 wooden nickel apiece because, again, that's the currency these goblins use. And to drum up business for his, business, he wants to host a hot dog eating competition. And he needs at least 3 people to enter. And I'm sure the party could participate. They probably will end up participating. But he's not going to want all of them to do it because that seems kind of like they could, rig the game. But he'll pay the party 25 wooden nickels per contestant found. Basically, random goblins throughout the dungeon they could find and persuade into joining. And there's a max of 5 contestants. Now, the competition is 5 rounds. It's just basically going through combat initiative. And on the contestant's turn, they must make a constitution save, and the DC is 12 plus whatever round number it is. So the first round is 13, then 14, then 15, so on and so forth. And they have to make that save in order to successfully eat 1d6 hot dogs, or 2d6 on a crit success. But if they fail, they only eat half as many, and they actually gain a level of exhaustion. And if they crit fail, they gain 2 levels of exhaustion and throw up and are disqualified. Now, exhaustion is pretty brutal, at least before the rework and post multiverse nonsense book, which no one bought because it sucked. So there's a very real chance that participants in this contest could die from eating too many hot dogs. And that's really, really, really funny to me. Now, there's only 2 prizes for first and second place. The first place is a solid gold hot dog that's worth 500 gold pieces. It's just a treasure item. It has a gold value, but doesn't really do anything else. And the second place is a decanter of endless hot dog water. It's a decanter of endless water, but the water tastes like hot dogs because it was used to boil hot dogs previously. So it's really gross, and you probably can't drink it because you'll get sick. Is that a better item than the golden hot dog? Probably. But the important thing is that the party doesn't have to participate. All they have to do is watch the competition and then rob the victor at a later point. Or they could participate and maybe die of hot dog poisoning. Either way, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a memorable encounter just because hot dogs are memorable. And they do reoccur in my games a lot, more so than coffee does. Like, I ran a Call of Cthulhu campaign where one of the reoccurring characters was an avatar of Nyarlathotep, and it was just a guy wearing a hot dog costume, and he would conjure hot dogs that duplicated themselves. And, of course, that drove people crazy. And then another guy ended up wearing the hot dog costume, and then he ended up getting, killed a bunch because it was like a cursed object that kept bringing him back to life, but more crazy. But he eventually got cured of it by the use of magic, which magic in Call of Cthulhu it's brutal. I may make a video comparing the magic system of Call of Cthulhu to Dungeons & Dragons, just because it's a fun little thought experiment, idea, concept to talk about the differences and what they have in common and how they function differently, but I have a lot more stuff on my plate now. I get it, plate, eating stuff, food, hot dogs. Yeah, the second thing was that in my urban fantasy game, that was D&D, not Call of Cthulhu, there was a fire elemental, or like a salamander, and he sold hot dogs on the elemental plane of fire in the city of Brass. And the joke was that he steamed his hot dogs, and it's like, do you know how hard it is to get water on the plane of fire? It's very hard. And I think one of the players ended up with the ability to conjure hot dogs again because of that character's tie to the plane of fire, so yeah, no one actually died in that campaign. They always came back as, a monstrosity. Oh, well, I've completely lost the plot. Anyway, so yeah, this has been day 178. If you want to see more wacky goblin shenanigans and other shenanigans for other creatures that are deeper in the dungeon, or any other video I'm working on, then consider liking the video, commenting down below, subscribing to the channel, and turning on notifications so that way these videos will show up in recommendations more often, because that's how the algorithm works. Or you could just come back tomorrow, because this series is daily. I've been uploading daily for the past 178 days, so yeah, it's gonna keep happening, whether you want it to or not. And yeah, thanks for watching and or listening. I apologize for the poor quality. It's just not gonna improve.